Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in this vast world it is that you may or may not happen to be. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayer's Live that I am also simulcasting over on the Streamer Analysis and IRL News Time channels. I'm your hostess, Alexandra, and I slept really well last night. Surprisingly so. Surprisingly so, I slept really well last night. Had an interesting dream too. I've had a lot of interesting dreams this past week, probably due to where I am. Where I am right now is pretty quiet, very nice. Almost every day I've been here has been a beautiful day. I like being where there's beautiful days for the most part, weather-wise, because that way I have zero excuse to feel down, because I'm very affected by the weather. Cold, rainy, gloomy weather impacts my mood tremendously, which is odd because I've always kind of evaded the tropics, I guess because I lived in the tropics for such a long amount of time. But maybe I'm fighting myself on that. I don't know. I really don't know. I think a lot of us fight ourselves tremendously. We really are our own worst enemies. But I dreamed last night that I was doing something that I've never really put enough effort into daring to do, and I need to change that. I need to get a guitar. I always travel with my keyboard, but I need a guitar. I've needed a guitar now for the past year. I've been putting it off, putting it off. I don't know why. Time to change that. Maybe I'll do that this week. But I need a guitar. Not this week, I'll do it next week. I actually want to be in a fresh place. Once I get the guitar, I don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere else. So I'll wait another week. But I need to shift gears completely into writing music for a while. And now's a good time because everything's pretty stable. I woke up this morning with a song in my head. Yes, I did. And I wrote some lyrics. I'm going to work on the song today. It's a song about quiet resentment and how it feeds into addiction. I'll read to you some of the lines I have so far. Rather than resenting me, just don't talk to me. Consider forgetting about me. Take it even further and free yourself of me. Don't let how you feel towards me be the fuel your addiction needs to continue to be. Jesus died for us to illustrate to us forgiveness. Forgiveness is what frees us of resentment. Resentment, if too much, opens the door to addiction. So it's just time to let it all go. So I'll work on that a little bit more today. But yeah, resentment. I think part of the reason that I delved into my page by page reading and commentary of the modern English version of the Bible specifically has to do with my seeking additional understanding personally when it comes to forgiveness. I've reached a higher level of forgiveness than I thought I ever would in my life. Have I forgiven everybody and everything that I've needed to forgive? As of this morning, it's possible I have. It's possible. I woke up this morning. did my normal routine, had a cup of coffee, had a cigarette outside, walked around the property a little bit, and then logged into here. And I'm feeling good today. I just feel a little bit perplexed when it comes to a little something, a little something that I sent someone a text this morning in regards to. I don't know if it's just my age or just where I am in my mental development right now. But I'm to the point to where I don't always need answers from people anymore. I don't even want them. I kind of am putting out a lot of output. I've received so much input, it's not even necessary anymore. But I'm going to keep putting some output out there for a while. Because a lot of people, man, they unjustly embody so much resentment. And then there's like this mob mentality that can form and manifest of people who all embody the same resentment. And then that mentality leads them to scapegoating a target, or sometimes plural targets, but it's never justified. And then even if you scapegoat the target to death, I mean, that is what happened to Jesus Christ. It doesn't fix anything when it comes to the people who embody whatever the resentment is, which is probably why Jesus Christ allowed himself to be murdered, to illustrate forgiveness, and why you got to just forgive things sometimes and move on. But a lot of people don't do that, and when you don't, it kills you. It ages you, makes you feel frustrated, makes you feel trapped. And those emotions are what open that gate or that door towards people and their addictions. Especially if it's like a really negative addiction. It is possible to have positive addictions. Some would call those passions. But I think that's what addiction is, unresolved resentment. I've come to realize a lot of people really resent me, but that's out of my control. That was a thought that was in my mind upon opening my eyes this morning. I don't allow my mind to dwell too much anymore on things that are out of my control. I actually enjoy having very little control. The only thing I can really control is me, and sometimes not even that. But seriously, um, I guess because I haven't fully understood a few things that I've never experienced, it's possible that I judge certain situations a bit more harshly than I should. I really don't know. It could be the generation that I'm of, Generation X. I'm barely in there. It's odd to think about too. If I had been born 2 years later, I would have been a millennial. Ideally, when I think about my parents' path, they probably would have preferred me to have been born about 5 years earlier. My parents were together for 7 years before I came along. I would be a more solid member of Generation X if I was about 5 years older. If I was 5 years older, I'd be 52 instead of 47. I wonder if I would be happier at 52 in the year 2026 opposed to the age I am right now. I don't know. Probably not. I would probably be feeling a bit more like I don't have enough time left. Another thought I had this morning, and I need to really think about this thought throughout the day because normally when I have this particular thought, um, it leads to good things, but takes me on a bit of a wild ride. I feel like completely dropping off the radar and going somewhere for a while. And I know exactly where I would like to go. That's why I want the guitar. And I think I'm going to do it because there's nothing stopping me from going where I feel kind of called to go at this point. I think that that trip that I canceled was a precursor pointing me in the right direction of where I want to go. But that was not exactly the correct destination, though it was close. Because the dream I had last night pretty much pinpointed where I need to go. Hmm. For the past couple of years on my phone, I've been keeping a file of different songs that I've written. I have a total of 310 songs that I've written over the past 2 years. It's unbelievable. So I need to pick out some of them, completely develop them, complete them, and turn them into what they need to be turned into. I almost feel like instead of streamer analysis being a company, it should be a band. But who else would be in my band? I need to make a band. I need to make a band, and on my channels, I probably need to do a complete mass unban. Ban bands. That's another song. Play with the words band and ban. Just make a note of that. Band bands. I don't know. But I need to do that. I did a workout yesterday. Felt good. Back to tofu. Tastes good. It's a good thing I like the taste of tofu. If I didn't, that would be torment. But yeah. I think this morning I'm gonna set up my music production stuff, start looking online, or maybe I'll just look for somewhere locally for a guitar and start working on some things that I've been putting off for a while. I'm going to do a recap this morning on a piece of video that I need to look at, and you'll get my fresh reaction to it. That girl, Kate, of the Kate Show, she runs a good stream. All of you make sure that you subscribe to her. The Kate Show 420. She does a good job. And I like that dynamic between her and that guy, Barry. I didn't quite understand it at first. I think I had to experience a little something for myself to completely understand it. But I meant it when I said in her chat the other day that real women respect her connection with that guy, because real women do. That's how I know certain people in these communities who claim to be women are in actuality not. Being a woman is complicated, especially as you get older. Especially if you are single, but even more so if you're single and child-free by choice. It's a little rough to be an older woman. It really is. I think very few men understand that. You know, I hear a lot of men complaining about this and that. Men, for the most part, have it pretty easy if they work their life right. And I mean, everything on this planet basically is geared toward assisting men, males, to be able to work their life pretty easily. The ones who don't pick up on the cues, I really do wonder about them because it's pretty straightforward. As a guy, you get all the advantages, not only from society, but physically. You know what the big dividing line is between male versus female, biologically, in my opinion? Having a freaking period. Because as a woman, when it's your time of the month, oh, it really halts things. Even though it shouldn't, even though you can work through it, it really is a hindrance. And men never have to deal with that crap. I would have thought by now I would have gone for that change to where I don't have to deal with it anymore, but that has not happened. And it's not my time of the month right now. It just ended actually. And maybe that's why I slept so well last night. But you know, it's you know, once you are a woman and you're over 40 and you're child free by choice, even though it wasn't exactly your choice, more so life circumstance. Uh when your time of the month comes around, you just kind of think to yourself, God, what is the point? Why are you reminding me of my fails? Why are you reminding me of things that are no longer applicable? Because I am not going to be somebody with a teenager in my 50s or 60s. What's the point? What is the point? You know? And sometimes God will answer you in a roundabout way. The answers I often receive in roundabout ways are, well, Alexandra, you think it's too late, but guess what, girl? It's not. Ha ha ha. And then my response internally is, really? Really? So how long am I supposed to be down here stuck on this planet? Hmm? How long? But thank you for the stellar health, God, because that's the thing God gave me. God gave me really good health and fitness despite it all. So I can't complain. But I don't want to be a mom of a teenager in my 50s or 60s unless I feel about like I do right now. And I've been feeling better and better, strangely, by the year since really about age 43. Not sure why. But yeah, I got to work on some music today. I think this song about quiet resentment, I also need to throw in some elements about ascension. I think I'm to the point right now when it comes to my channels. I mean, if you listen to me for whatever reason, be it positive or negative intent, make sure that you're subscribed to all the pieces of the puzzle, which would be Alexandra Mayers, streamer analysis, IRL news time, and IP2 Wiki info. Because depending on what I'm talking about is what determines where I talk about what I want to talk about, which channel, you know? I think sometimes people miss certain pieces of the puzzle and they shouldn't. Not if you want the whole story. But yeah, I think it's time for me to go into reality star, rock star mode. That's what I'm feeling this morning. I woke up this morning feeling like a rock star, which is weird. I didn't know what a rock star felt like until this morning. And it did have to do with a particular dream that I had last night. I think all of my channels I'm just going to turn into my reality show. I see why certain streamers do what they do. Completely. Do I want to continue covering any streamers? I'm sure I will when I notice certain things. I'm sure I will. But only streamers that I've already been covering. Nobody new. No one new. It's so funny to me how certain people try to reinvent themselves as somebody new. I don't want to reinvent myself. I just need to amplify a part of myself a little bit more. That's all. I was talking to a friend of mine and he was saying, wouldn't it just be easier for you to change your hair color? And I was like, no, I've spent years fine tuning this current costume. If I change my hair color, that's me taking off the costume a little bit. You know? Mm-mm. No. My costume is looking as normal as possible. If I didn't have this costume on, some of you would be more scared of me than you already are, which is so dumb. It's so dumb, this whole concept of fear in regards to me. I mean, I guess I should just go with it because it does protect me to an extent, but it's just stupid. People running around saying, I'm not scared of Alex. It's like, why would that thought even be in your mind to be scared of me? Mm-mm. It's ridiculous. Oh, so and so's scared of you. It's like, well, they're probably scared of themselves. Every once in a while, I might embody fear when it comes to certain parties, but then once you really learn about a person and you learn their motivation, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore when it comes to anybody. The only thing I really used to be afraid of was, I guess, the end of life, death. But my dad gave me the gift of freeing me of that fear by allowing me to watch him die right before my eyes. Never would have thought I would see that process in person. When I was younger, I always thought that I would, get a phone call or something about my father passing or that I wouldn't be there, but I was there and I saw the process. When my dad was alive, he would often tell me about the process of watching and witnessing my birth when my mother had me. So I guess it was meant for me to witness in person, step by step, the process of his death. I don't know how many of you out there have ever witnessed somebody die before, but it is a similar energy to witnessing a birth. I've witnessed a few people born, and there is a certain energy that is at play when you witness a birth. And it is a similar energy when you witness a death. There definitely is a sort of um, lowering of the boundaries between the dimensional planes when you witness someone cross over. I saw it when my dad passed over, and I will never forget it. I felt it. And I think that when you witness something like that, those barriers between the dimensions are never as thick for you or as present as they once were. That's what's led me not to fear death. Since my dad's passing, I've definitely been a little bit more reckless than I was prior. But I think I was a little bit too conscientious prior, but I had to be. I'm not going to say that I'm looking forward to whatever's next after this life because I don't know exactly what it is, but I just know it's not scary. I'm not a death seeker. I've known people who are death seekers. There was one in these communities, actually. But that's not me. I'm just not afraid of what's next. Because I know that there is something next. But I've got to amplify my life a little bit. And the only way I can amplify my life is by pursuing things that turn me on a little bit more. And I feel about ready to. It hasn't been quite a year yet since my dad's passing. Hasn't been quite a year. Still have about a month to go until I reach that year. Oh, I better plug in my computer. Plug in my computer. Gotta do a few things today. A few things I need to do. But that's an accomplishment. Getting the computer plugged in. My piece of advice for those of you listening to me for the right reasons today is to acknowledge even small accomplishments every day. Maybe that accomplishment is just getting out of the bed. Maybe that accomplishment is plugging in your laptop before it runs out of battery. Maybe it's writing a song. Maybe it's making a certain amount of money. Maybe it's making a point to call somebody when you say you're going to call. Maybe it's a point of doing something and following through when you say you're going to do it. Lots of levels of accomplishment, but accomplishments feel good. They do. I had the goal of losing a certain amount of weight, which I did. Still need to tighten up, but I feel good. I heard somebody criticize my weight recently, and I thought to myself, you're a motherfucker who never shows his face on the internet, and you're going to criticize my appearance? Shut the fuck up, bitch. Yeah. That's why I want to be a rock star. I'm going to be. I'm going to be a late in life bona fide super rock star. Just because that will enable me to really say some things to some people in the way that I really need to say a few things. Just speaking is not enough for me. It needs to be more. A lot more. I need a band. I need a manager. I need a team. A real team of badasses. People who are the worst of the worst. I think I'm going to do my math on bands right now because that's the only way I'm going to get my band together. I want the worst of the worst. because generally that's my kind of people, which is something I can completely acknowledge at this phase in my life. All right, so let's do that. Let's go into this one. I'm keeping my moderators, but I'm just going to do the mass unban. And if you're a moderator, you can ban whoever you want, but I think I am going to go for a while not banning, just to make myself a little tougher. I think I'm already pretty tough, but I need to be tougher if I'm going to do what I want to do. Mhm. Let's see. Did I get all of them? Nope, one more. All right. Mass unban complete. That's good. That is good. I think I'm going to have another cup of coffee. And I think I'm going to have another cigarette. What's today? Monday? I finally ordered some new clothes last week. They should arrive tomorrow. Feeling good about that. I gotta decide, is streamer analysis going to be a business or a band? Maybe both. It could be both. It's really just going to be an excuse for me to travel, but there has to be a purpose behind the travel. And if the travel's purpose is business and music, that's not too much of a frivolous reason, is it? No, not at all. I want to be a really skinny rock star, like real skinny. And I am slowly getting there. You want to know what the key to being skinny is? You don't freaking eat. I don't recommend these weight loss drugs that are out there. Um, there's going to end up being a really bad side effect to that Ozempic. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I couldn't really tell you, but The people that I see on it, it's really wreaking havoc on their skin, which says a lot. I wish I am having a blessed day. I'm just plotting my um path as a rock star this morning. That's what I'm up to. Anyone who doesn't want me to know who they are, just make a screen name like this person. Alex is number one. Someone should make a screen name that says Alexandra Mayers is freaking amazing. Maybe someone else could make one that says Alexandra Mayers is so hot. Maybe someone else could say Alex Mayers is timeless. Those are the kinds of things I want to fill my chat with. Even if you say bad things to me, but you have a screen name like that, I wouldn't ban you, you know? This is the instrumental to something that I'm working on. I like the beginning. Plotting can be fun. Well, I'm not just plotting, I'm doing because I tend to follow through with things that I say I'm going to do. So I guess it's not plotting, it's more so planning. But plotting and planning are similar words, not much difference between the two words. Plot, plan. I wonder what the actual difference is. Let's see. Plot definition. A plan made in secret by a group of people to do something illegal or harmful. Really? That's the official definition of plot? Well, I'm not doing anything illegal or harmful. And I'm definitely not doing it in secret, being that I'm publicly talking about it. So this is not a plot. This is a plan. Let's see what the plan definition is. A detailed proposal for doing or achieving something. Yes, this is more planning. More planning. Hmm. Well, in my opinion, the key to being a successful rock star, male or female, is being as skinny as humanly possible. So that's number one. Number two, you got to have your songs. And I have over 300 of them. So I just got to narrow it down to which ones I really want to use. I guess step three would be achieving your fan base. I already kind of have that. Step four, fleece your fan base of all their funds. So I guess I'm really at step four of my plan. Yeah. But I got to fund my band members. So I did my mass unban. I think all my band members are going to be people who I've banned, who are now no longer banned. So those of you who are no longer banned, you need to reach out to me so that you can join my band. I'll leave it at that. Have a great day. Bye.